Welcome back to the show, and a very interesting one where we spoke to Nazi Saluji about, letting go of the past. And I think it's such an important topic because each one of us faces some form of trauma or challenge in our lives. And I'm hoping that that was valuable enough to be able to help you through those types of situations. But going on to something really interesting, we're going to be speaking to adventurer Zirk Botha, and he's going to give us a recollection of his solo record-breaking 7,200 kilometers transatlantic voyage from Cape Town to Rio de Janeiro to raise awareness on sustainability and caring for our planet. Indeed, a very important one. A very warm welcome to you, Zirk. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. And we're looking forward to chatting to you about your voyage.
Hi, good morning. Yes, it's great to be able to join you.
Zirk, your signal seems to be very bad. I can't seem to hear anything that you're telling me. Can we try that again? We're having a very bad signal on your side.
Okay, listen.
Let's try that again. Let's see if we can get hold of Zirk Botha and see if the line gets better. Zirk, can you hear me now? Okay, so just a little bit about Zirk. He's a very interesting gentleman. It's so nice to see people get involved with things that really matter. And I think a lot of the times, we tend to forget how important it is to look after the very planet that is our home. And we tend to forget about the important things about it, like, the ocean and having to look after the atmosphere and things like that, because that also gives us a better quality of life. And Zirk has brought awareness to that through his adventure, which I think is so pertinent. And I mean, 59 years of age, he's completed his solo transatlantic record of 70 days over a total distance of 7,200 kilometers, which is 4,000 nautical miles, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And he left Cape Town in December 2020 and rode into the small bay of Buzios, just north of Rio de Janeiro, at 3:45 on the 27th of February 2021, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And all this in aid of our planet, which I think we all need to get involved in some way or the other, even if it's in a little way. Reason being, a lot of the times, a simple thing like recycling, we can start off small and then start working into other things. Starting off from our homes, what we do is, what I do is tend to, there's a picture of Zirk. That's such a beautiful picture of him on the ocean on his trip. So let's see if we can get Zirk on the line again. Zirk, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am here.
Hi, there we go. That's so much better. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this morning. I'm so glad to be able to introduce you.
Great to be able to join you.
I think it's an absolute pleasure. We look forward to chatting to people like yourselves that getting to, should we say, involved in things that are so pertinent and important. I mean, I think a lot of the times us as human beings get involved in our everyday lives and forget about the things that matter to us. And we need to realize that the planet is our home.
Absolutely. It's so true, and we take a lot of things for granted, and we just assume it's fine, and then we also assume, somebody else is going to be the environmentalist and fight the good fight. But at the end of the day, it's about what we all do, our little contribution. Excuse me. It's not just about a guy like me that creates awareness. It's about the end product, it's to make people aware so that we can each add our little bit. And as you were just chatting about it as well, when you go to your local supermarket, not to use the plastic bags, take your bag that's environmentally friendly with you to take your shopping home. And it's the whole thing about sustainable development. It's something that's realistic. It's just doing one thing at a time. And
Mm-mm.
plastics in itself is not bad. It's the human beings that are using the plastic that makes it a problem.
That is so true.
Plastics makes our life so much easier in a lot of ways, but it's our responsibility. And that's just one example of how we use it and what we do with it after we've used it, and then avoiding the single-use plastics that are clogging up our systems and our environment and our oceans.
That's true. Now let us rewind because we seem to have a bad signal when we started off. Talk to us a little bit about yourself and what enticed you to get involved in this. I know you were a naval officer.
Yeah, so I was a South African naval officer for 17 years. And I've always been an adventurer of some shape or form or the other. So, besides my time in the Navy as a combat officer, I was also a combat diver. And then I was professionally involved in adventure sports as an adventure sports marketer. But it's the golden thread through all of this is my love for the outdoors and for the environment. And then I got involved in renewable energies, and I realized that there's so many good answers to the problems that we're facing on the planet, to take care of it and to help it to rejuvenate itself. I think people make a big mistake quite often that they think the planet's in danger. It's not the planet. Our planet will fix itself, but the human beings that live on the planet are the ones that are in danger. Because if the planet can't sustain the human race anymore, we will die. And the planet will fix itself after that. It will take a few thousand years, but the one thing that the planet has, we don't have, is time. So
that's so good. You know what? That's so
ourselves.
true. I agree with you there, and I think we're also contributors in many directions to, should we say, not looking after our planet the way we should, in many directions, and it's having to look at those types of aspects that we are dealing with every single day of our lives. And just before we got you back on air, I was talking to our listeners about just starting off slowly, from home itself, also by doing the recycling factors and looking at all those things that affect our environment.
Absolutely. That is so true. We all have to make our little contribution. But on the other side, the need to recycling is a symptom. And my belief is that we should look at the cause. And the cause are the big corporates that are making single-use plastics that gets distributed and then it ends up in the environment. But then it's also electricity. There's a big change, which I'm very happy about, towards renewable energy sources and away from fossil fuels. Even in South Africa, it's been in the news a lot lately with the COP26 conference that's around the corner. For us to move away from fossil fuels. So, all those things, that's looking at the cause, which fundamentally is what we should be doing, not treating the symptoms.
Right. Now, let's get involved in talking about your actual journey. I'm very excited and interested in wanting you to paint this picture for us, because I think what you've done is absolutely phenomenal. To be able to do 7,200 kilometers is not a little, it's quite a bit. So talk us through your journey. We're very interested in wanting to know.
Yes, so I set out the first time on the 5th of December from Cape Town, and then the weather changed and I had to come back to town, which was quite an emotional thing, questioning yourself. But then I finally departed on the 19th of December. And then I got away and I got offshore off the coastal weather patterns. The route that I followed was up the African coast all the way to northern Namibia, because that's the way that you go if you follow the trade winds. So the trade winds blows from Africa to South America, but they only blow north of 20 degrees south. So that's why I had to go all the way up the coast before I could cross the Atlantic. And then I've basically followed the 17 degrees south line of latitude all the way across to Brazil. And then I went down the Brazilian coast towards Rio, and then finishing off. So my crossing continent to continent finished in Buzios, which was after 69 days. But then my official welcome in Brazil was at Cabo Frio. That took me 72 days. So the actual crossing itself was 69 days. I faced 3 massive storms at sea. I had to make my own fresh water using a desalinator that ran off solar power. And all my food was dehydrated food, that I survived off. And I wanted to use the crossing to show that we can live just off solar power. We do not need any other forms of energy to power our systems. I powered my desalinator, my communication systems, my navigational systems. Everything was powered off solar power.
Wow.
And yeah, so it was quite an epic journey, quite an epic challenge, and a lot of self-searching and self-awareness. Besides the physical challenge, it was quite a personal journey as well. To go through it, to get to the other side.
It's interesting that you talk about those challenges and you've weathered the storms, but you kept going, and that's what I find really phenomenal is the fact that you've attained the idea to say that this is my journey and this is what I'm going to do, and you stuck by it irrespective of the challenges that you faced.
Yes, it's quite interesting. And I think we all go through our life experiences and we learn a lot of life lessons. And one of the life lessons that I learned is, the process of setting goals. We all go through this process, well, not all, but a lot of people go through the process at the end of every year to, those New Year's resolutions. What am I going to do in the coming year? Whether it's to make $1 million or to lose 10 kilograms in weight or whatever. But it's all about the process of how we go about to set our goals. And people set frivolous goals, but if you set a goal that is really serious and you set it in the right way, it becomes a life-changing experience. And a goal remains a dream until you turn it into action. It only becomes real once you put it into action and you start taking proactive steps towards achieving that goal. And that for me was fundamental to the success, was that process of setting the goal and making it real. When you set the goal in the right way, it creates an energy and a momentum of its own. And that was what sustained me. I knew during the row and during the storms and when I got injuries, I always knew that I would finish the row. That was never a question in my mind because I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve from the row, from finishing that challenge.
Interesting that you bring up, the types of energy levels and that you've had. It's not easy, as we know, of course, to be all by yourself, solo at sea. What was your mental strength like? What sort of mental strength did you put yourself into? Because, as we know, at this moment in time during COVID-19, people's mental strengths are not the same. And I think what I found really phenomenal about you was that, you're going solo on this journey to be able to create awareness about something so important. But I asked myself this question that, we need to learn from you, because you need the right mindset and the right mental strength to be able to actually go on such an interesting and adventurous journey.
Yes. But it's not just when you take on a challenge like this. It's when you want to do anything in life that is worth, putting an effort in, that's really a life-changing experience. And what I always say to people when they ask me this question is that we all have adventures that we want to take on in life, and each person has an adventure that is unique to themselves. For me, as a person that loves the outdoors, my adventures are always in the outdoors. It's experiences that changes my mindset. But for another person, a big adventure could be to start a new company or to start an NGO, things like that. And I think it's important to realize that if your comfort zone or your place where your happy place is not doing something like this out at sea, don't try and copy and paste what somebody else has done. You've got to find your own unique challenge that you can identify with. And then you use that, and then that becomes your motivation. But, having that mental strength goes back to goal setting. And in setting your goal, you need to know exactly why you are doing it and what you want to achieve out of it. So once you've done that and you've got really have clarity on that, the mental process becomes part of that package deal. But it's all about setting your goal. It's exactly how you're setting the goal that you want to achieve.
I so agree with you, because the thing is, then what happens is, you know your direction, and then you start focusing on that direction and that place that you would like to, of course, end up in, and what you'd like to attain at the end of that voyage.
Absolutely. That is fundamental. And we should apply the same principles in our lives from day to daily activities. Because the reality is, if we don't have our goal and what we want to achieve every day, there's other people that have plans for us and they'd like us to support their goals. So, it's like a ship without a rudder. You will just get pushed anywhere. But as long as you have your goal that acts as your rudder, it keeps you going in the right direction.
So true. We're going to go for a quick break. Stick with us. We'll be back with you in a minute.
DoosieMed Medicine Depot Retail Pharmacy and Emergency Medical Depot, conveniently situated in the DoosieMed Medical Center, corner Burger and Bossel Street, Pietermaritzburg. We provide safe, affordable and convenient medical facilities, open till 10 p.m. every day of the year. We have a full house clinic that operates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is run by a qualified sister. The clinic offers immunization, vaccination, wellness, general consultation, and more. Call DoosieMed Medicine Depot on 033 3421 DoosieMed Medicine Depot, your pharmacy of choice.
Durban, KwaZulu-Natal has been the hardest hit by the recent civil unrest. Hundreds of supermarkets, factories and warehouses have been looted and destroyed. Thousands have lost their jobs and are in need of food and household supplies. Penny Appeal South Africa is currently on the ground working with communities to provide essential items to those severely affected. Donate toward the Penny Appeal Hardship Fund today and assist us in caring for families for a 3-month period with essentials and assistance to small businesses affected by the devastating effects of the unrest. Help us help our city. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 11 00 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal, there is no substitute for quality.
Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground in Afghanistan. Millions of people go daily without food. You can heal Afghanistan. Sponsor towards feeding a family at 1,500 rand a month or any amount. Visit africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011 834 8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back to the mid-morning show with myself, Nafisa Dango, and we're in conversation with Zirk Botha. Definitely a very inspirational gentleman, and he's been giving us some tips on, how to keep going and achieving your goals. And I think he's really done something phenomenal by creating awareness on sustainability and caring for our planet, which is something I think a lot of us take for granted many a times. Dirk, thank you for joining us back on the line. It's been so interesting chatting to you about this journey that you've been on. And I just want to know, how did you prepare for this?
So the whole preparation took a 2-year period, which included preparing the boat and getting everything 100% sorted out. I think the reality is that when you want to take on a challenge such as this, it's not something that you do overnight. It takes a lot of preparation and dedication. I'm really sorry, but because we have a problems with the connection, I have another commitment, and I'm going to have to say thank you so much for the time and goodbye. And maybe on another occasion we can chat some more.
Yes, I definitely would look forward to, and I'm sure my listeners would look forward to chatting to you and listening to you one more time, because you've been an absolute true inspiration. So we wish you nothing but the best going forward in life. But thank you so much. And as I said, we look forward to chatting you and should we say on the next show.
Thank you very much. And go well to you and to the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You take care. All the best. Goodbye. And that was Zirk Botha giving us a recollection of his, solo record-breaking 7,200 kilometers. That's not an easy thing. And a voyage from Cape Town to Rio De Janeiro, of course, to create awareness on sustainability and caring for our planet, which I think is absolutely pertinent. I think we need to all start doing a little bit of our shares that as well, because I think that's important. The more we understand that this is our home, this planet is our home, and we need to look after it in every way possible. And if each one of us plays a little role, can you imagine how much better things could work out? So we're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in a sec.